So what's going on, everyone? Today I am just doing a little bit of a change up over in the shop over there. I've gotten permission from the wife to be able to turn our sun deck into a wood shop. So I'm gonna be in the process today of moving that stuff up there. But before I do that, what I want to do is I want to bring in each piece of equipment, or some of them that have a vacuum attachment for them, or a port, and measure them so that way I can start designing those adapters for my vacuum setup. So that way we can have a nice clean work area. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get started measuring those ports on each one because they're all different sizes. And we'll get something done up and to fit with my vacuum hose that I currently have. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that now. Okay, so we have our dimensions for our router table, our bandsaw, our chop saw, and the sanding station. I didn't do any video of grabbing the chop saw dimensions, but it was 38 by 32 millimeters deep. So we'll go ahead, we'll use those numbers that I grabbed, and all of these are going to fit a 32 millimeter hose. With the router table, it is 63 millimeters around. So when we go to do our radius, it's not going to allow us to do a 0.5 in the grand scheme of things to get our 63 millimeters of, because it's what, 31.5. So we're going to have to either go 31 or 32 and then use the offset tool to be able to get the dimension that we want. Now I'm pretty sure there's another feature on SketchUp that will allow you to do that. I just think it's the one template that I'm using. I do believe I'm just using the millimeter one, but I think there is actually a 3D printing one which will probably give you more customization when it comes to using those decimal points. But I'm not sure. I just go with what I currently do and have experience with, and I don't mind doing an offset to get the actual radius that I want. So with that being said, let's hop over to the computer here and we'll have a look at that, and we'll get that first design done. And then I'll go ahead, I'll do up the other ones, and then I'll print them out, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look and see how things turned out. So here we go. Alright, so we have our work area here, and basically all we're going to do is we're going to grab our circle tool, we're going to go on the red axis, and we're going to do, like I said, it was either 31 or 32. If you look in the bottom right there, you'll see that 31, 32, and even if I was to select it afterwards and go to the radius up here, if I went 31.5 and hit enter, it's going to default to 32 millimeters because it's going to round it up, and that's fine. Okay, so 32, but we want 31.5 because we want our total distance across to be 63. That's going to be our internal tube. So let's just have a look here. What I'm going to do right away is I'm going to take my segments here. It's set to 24, but I want a nice smooth circle. So I'm going to bump that up to 60. That's kind of my basic for making any circle, depending on the size of it, but I find it works great for making components like this. So now I have that. I'm just going to grab that with the offset. Now I don't have any like other shortcut keys or anything like that done up right now, so I will be using it as this is stock. There's nothing I have changed within the program, so we'll try it there. Let's see if that will give us our 63. I just kind of guesstimated on that one, and we'll go across, and there we go. We've got our 63. So now we have that. We can get rid of the outer one, and then we can do our next one here. Let's find the midpoint. If it doesn't snap to it, we'll just go ahead and we'll just draw a line across. Oh, there it is. It's hiding on me. Oh, it doesn't want to do it. Alright, so we're just going to go like this, right across, and then we're going to go, I'm going to go 2 millimeters around it, so I'm going to have to add 4 millimeters to my design. So we went 32 plus 4 is 36, and then we'll bring it back. And then that doesn't look too, I guess that could be right. We'll take a look afterwards and we'll measure that and make sure that all around it it's all lined up properly. For the most part I think it is. It might not be, but we'll check it out. So I'm just going to change it to 60, and then I'm going to click on the circle, go to my tools, go to offset, and then I'm just going to bring it in same amount I did on the last one. So now it should be if this is 63, we should have 67 from our outer shell. And I go 2 millimeters just because it's a great strength for when designing anything really. So that's kind of where I go to. You can certainly do whatever you like. Okay, that's a little big. Well, let's try that again. So if this is 31, okay, it needs to be 30. That's 31. So we need this to be 33. Sorry, that was my mistake there. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that guy, and we'll go ahead and bump that up to 60. And now we should be able to double check here, and we got 66 and we want 67, right? 63 plus 4 is 67. Okay, so we're just going to go to the tools and we're going to go to offset again, and then we're just going to bump it out a little bit. That looks good there, I think. I could not tell you until we measure it. So that should be 67 now, and that's dead on 67. Okay, so now we need to bring it up. We can get rid of this inner part for now. We're going to bring this up 32 millimeters. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bring that up 32. There we go. And then I'm going to bring that up, and that's going to be our connector for the unit. And then now I will just grab this guy. We're going to go across. And now our next one here needs to be 32. So that would be 16 millimeters on here, and then we'll just do that first, and we'll just double check and make sure that that is 32. Yeah, it's 32. And then we will go ahead and add this to 18. That's going to give us our 2 millimeters around it for our shell on it. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one, and yeah, we can delete those all for now. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bump that up to 60 segments, and then once again bumping this one up to 60. Hit enter. So now we should be able to erase this inside here. And now I want to bring this one here up another 32 millimeters, just to be nice. And now we should have you know what, we're gonna have to bring let's try this. I'm gonna put one line across here, and then I'm gonna bring that up to 32, and then that should put my one line right here. Oh, if I can bring you over there. So now I have this line here to mark my point. Now I should be able to go like this, right across, do that, and for some reason it likes an extra one. Now I can go ahead, erase those guys. Oh. Okay, we're gonna keep that one. I'm sure there's probably other ways. And I'm going to reverse spaces on these. Not sure if it really matters. Actually, I'm going to reverse that back. So now we should have a little bit of let's see if I can bring you in here. Should be yeah. So what we can do, because right at this moment it's not really a solid platform there, but that's okay. We don't need it to be right at this moment, because what we're going to do next will actually fix that. So now we have this line down here that we left. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring that all the way up on the blue axis, and then I'm just going to bring it over here. Then I'm going to go like that, and there we go. Now we got this guy here, and of course you know it. We're going to go ahead, we're going to use the follow me tool. We're going to make this a cylinder. I'll tell you why we're making it a cylinder in just a moment here. But right now, you could print this out just the way it is, and it would work perfectly fine, but we don't want to do that. Because, well, I'll show you here. So I'm going to go to the follow me. I'm going to grab that guy. We're going to swing it around, button it up, place it on, and there we go. And for some reason that guy decided to go. So let's go ahead and we'll put this guy back on. Give us a little bit of a, there we go. Now we should be good there. Yep. And there we go. Now we have our model of our adapter. Now, the reason why I went that way with the adapter is putting that cone shape on it is because when you go to 3D print it, you're either going to be using supports on the inside or the outside of it, depending on which way you have the item arranged. And for me, I'd rather use, instead of supports, turning that supports into actual strength of the unit if I can. And on this, it's a great example of being able to do that. Instead of using supports, we're actually using the supports in the unit and also making it stronger, but still keeping that design there. And being able to, now if we put a hose in there and we shake it by accident, we're not going to bust off that tube, which can happen if you don't have a thick enough model, or something happens, you bump it too much. But using that cone, doesn't matter what you do to it, I guarantee you it's not going to break. And that's what I wanted. I wanted something that you could solid print, no supports, no nothing, print it, done. So let's have another quick look at it here. So that's my kind of thing when it comes to that. So I'll go ahead. What I'll do is I'll go ahead, I'll print this out. I'll print up the other ones as well. I'll design them up, and then we'll have a look at them, and then I'll go ahead and get them on the machines and see how well it fit. But that's just one of those little tricks to kind of get things all in one print when you're designing for 3D printing. If you don't mind wasting filament and you want that off-the-shelf look, you can definitely not do the follow me on it and then just print it out, use your supports, cut them off, and there you go. But for me, I'm putting the hose into the unit, so it doesn't matter. Let's make it a cone, let's make it stronger, let's make it last. So I'm going to go ahead and get this printed, and we'll be right back. And we're back. So as you can see, it everything fits together nice and snugly. Using that offset on the router table definitely helped a lot. It was pretty tight, and it's pretty close to the router bed. It's not affecting anything when it's all clamped down. So that is where we're going to leave that guy. And yeah, I was happy with how snug and tight everything fit. And that's all you really need to do, is just some quick, simple measurements, and yeah, play around with SketchUp a little bit to get yourself used to it. And projects like this is a great starting point, because you get to learn the push-pull, you get to learn about making your circles more smoother with using the segments and changing that up. So there's lots of room to learn a lot of different little techniques when it comes to it, and being able to use that follow me tool is a really big help when designing round items like this. If it wasn't for that, then it would take me forever. Now, I didn't do any sort of smoothing or any other add-ons or anything like that. I just always, I don't think I don't have any other plugins on SketchUp that I use that are from other people. I just use SketchUp stock, and that is it. So if you liked this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. Please feel free to subscribe. I will be doing more of these videos here in the near future. And as always, thank you everyone. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?